Namaskar. One of my joys or really great hobbies is to do research in history related to astrology. So, like, my favorite pastime is to find the date of births and not date of birth, exact birth details of historical personalities. And I'll just give an example today. And so, this is an example of astrohistory, you may say. So, there'll be a little bit of astrology, but those who are really history enthusiasts and those who like to research on their own and find accurate details, they will find some interesting insights in this. So, here is an example of a Mughal prince who is well known as Dara Shikoh. He is the son of the Mughal Emperor Shahjahan, the builder of Taj Mahal. It's not that I am a big fan of Mughals per se, but the thing is, for a history enthusiast and for an astrology enthusiast, Mughal periods is rich in details. There's a lot of correct and accurate data available. Okay, and hence you're able to, if you want to cast a horoscope, you have a lot of data available of people, which is unfortunately not available of people of other historical personalities. Okay, though I'll be sharing some others. I have the accurate birth details, accurate meaning real accurate birth details of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, which, believe me, to the best of my knowledge, no one has. People don't even have the right date of birth. Okay, not even the right English date of birth. Okay, leave alone anything else. They don't even have the right tithi. Okay, I will present that one day. Okay, I've been a bit lazy about that. I'll be presenting that. But today I just happened to work on this, and I thought, why not? Since it's fresh on my mind, and just today I was working on this date of finding Dara Shikoh's date, and I thought, why not present it? So you see how you have inaccurate details on well-known portals, okay, and even well-known published books. Okay, and I'll point it out to you. So don't fall into the trap of just taking, oh, it's a well-known published book, it is right one. I always rely on going back to the primary source. For me, primary source, and primary source means what? Someone, or preferably a contemporary source, someone of that time who was written. And that's the great thing about Mughal period, is that you have a lot of contemporary source. Okay, and in this particular case, the contemporary resource is the great Mughal emperor himself, that is Jahangir. Okay, and I'll explain that. So we have Dara Shikoh. Okay, the date of birth given on Wikipedia is 20th March 1615. This is inaccurate. This is wrong data. It is given, the reference is given Jahangir Nama, the memoirs of Jahangir. It's correct. Jahangir Nama, the memoirs of Jahangir, does give the exact date, not just the date. Jahangir Nama, by the way, is written by Jahangir. It's not written by anyone else. It is basically the diaries of Jahangir. There were two Mughal emperors who wrote their own diaries, which we have available. One is Babur, and the other is Jahangir. I'm not sure if Humayun also wrote, but I don't think, no, Humayun didn't write. We have a Humayun Nama, which is actually written by his sister Gulbadan Begum. But Babur and Jahangir wrote their own diaries, and they were very, very, you may say, conscientious and very regular in writing their diaries. And there's a sincerity in them about writing their own diaries. They may have n number of other weaknesses. I mean, Jahangir was an opium addict and a drunkard of the first rate. Okay, and he was no great king or anything. Okay, but he was a good diarist. And thanks to that, we have a lot of data of that time, and he was very particular about noting the date and sometimes even the time, etc. Okay, so this is wrong. Now we will go into, so for me, okay, it says Jahangirnama, so I go to Jahangirnama, or the exact name is Tuzuk-i Jahangiri, okay, which is apparently it means diaries of Jahangir. Okay, so here we have the diaries. Now there are two translations of diary of Jahangir. The original is in Persian. I don't know Persian, I don't have the Persian original with me, so I rely on the English translation. Now you see, that is not a great thing in itself. Ideally, when we say primary source, you should know the original language itself. So if anyone has the original Persian with them, anyone who is seeing this video and they have the access, and if they think anything I am saying has to be corrected, please feel free to correct me and let me know about it. Okay, and I refer to both the translations, and one of them was correct and the other one was wrong. Okay, and I have not just relied on the translations themselves. I'll show you how I independently verified it through other things. So this is the relevant page in the translation, or it takes time to find the relevant page and all that. That is the that is the beauty of doing astrological research. It helped me that I found also this reference because I was reading a biography of Shah Jahan, from where I found a whole lot of dates, including I found the date of birth of Dara Shikoh over there, which was off by one day. It mentioned 29th March. As you can see, this is a different date than what was mentioned in Wikipedia, while here it is mentioned 30th March. So from there, that mentioned the page number of this. So it mentioned that in this, this is the translation by Rogers, and I think edited by Beveridge or something. H. Beveridge has edited it and A. Rogers has translated it. And in this, the page number 282 of this book has this particular thing. All these chapters are these are arranged in chapters in the way of the regnal years, the regnal years of Jahangir. I forget which year this is. I think this would have been like the 10th regnal year probably of Jahangir. Okay, he mentions so clearly, this is written by Jahangir himself. Okay, he mentions 2 watches of the night had passed on the night of Monday, the 29th Safar, and here the translator has converted it into Gregorian date, 30th March 1615. Now, one of the things is that when we have these dates, even in these books, sometimes we are confused whether there are two ways. There are old style dates and new style dates. Okay, what is called Julian dates and Gregorian dates, and sometimes translators give these dates and don't even specify. Generally, if someone is giving old style dates, they have to specify that they are giving old style dates. I think the other translator whom I will give, I think he's giving old style dates, but he's not really specifying. I think he does, but I'm not sure. Maybe he does mention it somewhere in the preface. I didn't read the preface honestly, so I don't know. Okay. Anyway, 2 watches of the night had passed on the night of Monday, the 29th Safar, in the ascension of Sagittarius. So the Lagna or the ascendant was Sagittarius. See, Jahangir is very particularly giving us the ascendant also. So when a boy was born to Baba Khurram was the pre-regnal name of whom we know as Shah Jahan, by the daughter of Asaf Khan. So Shah Jahan had obviously many wives, but from the daughter of Asaf Khan, that is, who was known as Mumtaz Mahal, I gave him the name Dara Shikoh. So the naming was actually done by Jahangir himself. In fact, Jahangir was the one who gave the names for most of the children of Baba Khurram or Shah Jahan. In fact, at that time, when we are talking about in 1615, and right up to another many years later till 1622 or so, Khurram was a favored son of Jahangir. So he was given many titles, he was given a lot of wealth and a lot of retinue, etc. And obviously a lot of royal favors were given to him. Okay. I hope that his coming will be propitious to this state, conjoined with eternity, and to his fortunate father. So this is what has been given. Now 2 watches of the night had passed. Okay. What does this mean? Now watches is generally translated, this translation of, if I were to say in Hindi, I am not sure what it means, what is the word in Persian, but in Hindi it is called peher. Okay, peher. Peher is literally like a yama. Yama means 3 hours, approximately a duration of 3 hours. But it is not exactly 3 hours, it depends on the duration. It is basically dividing the entire span of a day and a night, that is sunset to sunrise, into 8 equal parts, or rather, actually speaking, to be more precise, the period from sunrise to sunset into 4 parts, and the period from sunset to sunrise into 4 parts each. So depending on the length of the day and the length of the night, the length of the parts can vary. On an average, it should be 3 hours each, right? You have 12 hours in the day and 12 hours in the night, but the length of the day and the length of the night varies, right? So hence this can vary. And those days also people would have accurate calculation of, okay, how long the day is, how long the night is, etc., because they know when the sun is rising. And so I have checked the dates and all that around this point. Now, good thing is, this is in March, and we know 21st or 22nd of March is the equinox. In fact, during this period of time, the equinox would have been much more closer to this date, I guess, or little after this date. Would it be? I am not sure. So anyway, it is around March, April, we would have the equinox. So which means that you can safely say around 3 hours would be the average length of a peher or a yama. Now, if we are saying 2 watches have passed, and let's say roughly 6 o'clock is the sunset on this day, and we know also, let me tell the place of birth. From elsewhere, I know the place of birth is Ajmer. Ajmer is in present day Rajasthan. So in Ajmer, the sunset time was 6:15 p.m. Okay. So if we say 6 hours from there, we would say around 12:15. But I think the sunrise was 5:54 and the sunset was 8. So the day was slightly longer and the night was slightly shorter. So we may say that the 2 pehers would have ended, if we say exactly, it would have been like around 12:05. So maybe if he would have, I guess he was born just after they would have rung the bell of 2 pehers, and then he would have been born maybe 5-10 minutes after that. So we may say around 12:05, 12:15 is the birth time of Dara Shikoh. Now the date is, you see, 29th Safar is being given as 30th March. Is this date right? Okay. So I wanted to check the other translation just to be sure, because you never know. By the way, there is a Hijri to Gregorian converter. I use that also. Okay. So as per that, where was it? Yeah, this is 29th March 1615. That was coming to 29th Safar. So that would mean 30th. If I were to make it 30, let's say, if I made it 30, it was coming to next month. So basically, this Hijri, they have around 29 to 30 months, 30 days in a month. So this was coming to the next month, which is called Rabi al-Awwal. But I also did a reverse conversion, okay, of this 29th Safar 1024 Hijri, and it was coming to March 29, 1615, and it was saying it is Sunday, which makes sense. Okay, so this made sense. Now I just, for cross checking, I looked at this other translation. This is by Thaxton, and it is saying last night after the elapse of 2 watches corresponding on to the eve of Monday. You notice there it said Monday, and here it's saying eve of Monday, and I'll explain that. The 29th Safar, March 20th, Sagittarius ascendant, etc., etc. So he's saying March 20th, and this is where this, I think this Wikipedia has taken March 20th and it's got it wrong. Okay, maybe he is giving it what is called old style dates. Okay, ideally speaking they should mention old style dates, but I have seen Wikipedia many a times they don't mention it, and ideally they should not give old style dates when most new style dates are there. See, this old style new style dates changed somewhere around, I think, 19th century, early 19th century, and after that, I mean, barring Russian Empire, everyone else had converted to new style dates, which is, I think, the Gregorian dates, what we call the Gregorian date. So now, just to clarify on this Monday and Sunday business. Now, the Islamic day actually begins at sunset, not at sunrise. The Vedic day begins at sunrise. Actually, the Islamic day begins at sunset and ends on sunset. Vedic day begins in sunrise and ends in sunrise. I know this because I've researched this earlier also. You know, I've checked, when I've checked the date of birth of Akbar, etc. Akbar, Humayun, and I believe Jahangir also, Shahjahan also, by the way. Now the week would start on what for Vedic would be Saturday evening. So the Saturday evening to Sunday evening is the first day of the week, which is like a Sunday. Okay, and Sunday evening to Monday evening is what is the second day of the week, which is Monday. So when he is saying eve of Monday, or actually speaking, this is more right, it is Monday. It was actually a Monday. And the other confirmation factor is just a little bit above. I mean, this is an independent factor apart from the Tuzuki Jahangiri. Okay, now just before that, just before this entry, Jahangir is mentioning on Sunday, actually he is mentioning the 9th, but it is not 9th, it is 29th. There was an eclipse of the sun when 12 ghadis of the day had passed. So Dara Shikoh was born on Sunday night, what is the Vedic Sunday night, which is like Monday for the Islamic system. On the Sunday afternoon, there was a solar eclipse, and it was a big solar eclipse, because he mentions it was almost 3.5 hours long, and there is so I checked that. So there is, NASA has the data on this. So 29th March 1615, okay, there was a solar eclipse, okay, at 12 o'clock, okay, and 12 o'clock there's a solar eclipse. So on which is at 7 a.m. I think, yeah, here it mentions it's at 7. So 7 a.m. in UK time, which in India would be around 12:30. So Jahangir was very right. When 12 ghadis is passed, 12 ghadis would be around 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. in the afternoon, just before afternoon. So he's saying it's starting. This is the instant of greatest eclipse. So it would have progressed, and maybe an hour later it would have been the greatest amount of eclipse. Okay. So we have you can imagine there is an eclipse which has happened, and we have a actual live clear record of this by Jahangir, that yes, there was this eclipse, and you can read it, how he describes it, over here, it began from the west, and 4 out of 5 parts of sun were eclipsed, and from the commencement it became light. 8 ghadis elapsed for the light to come, so full light to come. So it was a big eclipse. So just after that eclipse, okay, after 12 o'clock of that night, okay, which Gregorian day would be 30th March, right? Just after 12 o'clock, because the Gregorian date will move. So hence the date is 30th. So if I were to just enter that in deva.guru. I should have entered it beforehand, but I forgot to. So interestingly, just for those who are interested, here is the birth details of Aurangzeb in Suzuki Jahangiri. So you can find out what is the exact date and all that. By the way, this is wrong. October 24, 1618. Again, he has given wrong date over here. It is not right. Please find out what is the right date. Okay, so we are talking about 30 March 1615, and just after, I'll put 12:15 a.m. Ajmer, Rajasthan, and we are talking of Dara Shikoh. There are various pronunciation, Dara Shikoh, whatever, so I'm using this. So you have Sunday, as you can see. So this is the thing. I'll just give the other chart styles also for those who are interested. Yeah. Let me see if it can be increased. No, this is not helping. Let's see. Yeah, so we have all the three chart styles over here. So you have I said we don't have the exact degree of the lagna over here, but I believe, basis some logic and all that I have and all that his lagna nakshatra would be Mula nakshatra, which means he would have been born before 13 degrees. So if you were to consider that with this timeline, he should have been born around between 12:10 to 12:20, 12:30 or thereabouts. Okay, so this is the timeline, rough timeline. So we have Sagittarius, and interestingly, in case of Aurangzeb's date of birth, Jahangir gives the exact lagna degree also. I don't know if you've noticed, if you go back to that second, you will notice that he gives the exact lagna degree. He gives that he was born in the 19th degree of Libra. Okay, but unfortunately, in case of Dara Shikoh, he is not given that. So we have Sagittarius lagna, and fourth house is very, very strongly occupied with 5 planets. Okay. Otherwise, you have Mercury in the 5th house and Mars in the 8th house. This is the worst placement over here in this chart. Jupiter in 12th house is a big blessing to him. It is giving a Shubha Yoga to the Lagna. It is also what I would say is making very, it is bringing the spiritual aspect in. First Lord in the 12th house, making him spiritual. Ketu is in Digbala. Okay, in Shahjahan's chart, if I were to see his Saptamsha, if I were to say the planet which is showing Dara Shikoh, indicating him, I would say that is Ketu. Okay, and another planet I would say would be Mercury. So Mercury is in trines over here, which is definitely the case, and Ketu. Okay. So and you have Rahu, Sun, Venus, Saturn, and Moon. Venus is actually Vargottama Atmakaraka, which is in exaltation and Digbala. Okay, it is a 6th and 11th lord, but it is a big it is giving him big blessings. Okay, and if I were to show you, in Venus Mahadasha is when his father came to power, and where he where Dara Shikoh was made sort of the Yuvraj kind of thing, and given a lot of great level of royal favors by his father, so much that it aroused the jealousy of all his other brothers and everyone else. Okay, so Venus Dasha was really, really great for him. Okay, But moon dasha, moon the eighth lord, okay. Though some say that for Sagittarius moon is not really the, but here moon did. See, when you have these so many planets together, they sort of exchange results with each other. And I think Moon Rahu sort of exchange results over here. Venus Saturn exchange results over here. I mean, Venus Saturn is a good yoga. It is kind of a Varuna yoga. It brings good results. But Moon Rahu is not so good. And moon, as this moon is also having dosha. It is a Shukla Pratipa just after solar eclipse. So this is a very not a good moon overall. So hence moon, and you can see what is moon. Moon is Bhratrikaraka, brother. So brother is bringing that dosha on him. So this is some little bit on his chart, okay, and I hope you like this bit of piece on astro history. And today was the day when I checked this, so since it's fresh in my mind, I thought I will share it with you. I hope you like this bit. The key thing is that I didn't just rely on Tuzuke Jahangiri. I also confirmed this with, that there is a solar eclipse which happened on this particular date. So this date, you can say that what Wikipedia is giving is a wrong date, because Dara Shikoh was just born just after that solar eclipse. Okay. You could see that the entry is just after that. Okay. If you say no, you know what, Kartik, the 29th is solar eclipse and he would have been born some other day after that or something, but the weekday is also given. Weekday is also given as Sunday. So how can then that match? That will not match, right? So and also you have the particular day given, 29th Safar, right? After that you can see that if I were to move it further, you will not be in that Safar month, you will be in the next month, which is Rabiul Awwal. So all put together, it has to be 29th, or rather 30th March is, as per the Gregorian date, it is 30th March. But if you go as per Vedic day, it is the weekday is Sunday. Okay, on Sunday is when he was born. Okay. Thank you so much. Hope this was an interesting session.